I like to imagine it as being sort of like an office block. Kind of like the offices in The Wolf of Wall Street. It's a large room near the top floor and it's full of life. It's full of chaos, controlled chaos, people working at cross purposes. That's the way I think of it. Everyone in the office is me, you know? They're all sort of dressed differently and they're all at their own separate desks, but they all are me. Actually, now that I think of it, it's kind of like the number of thoughts I have and like what I'm actually thinking about. It correlates to the amount of people in the office, the amount of me's inside my head and what they're actually doing. To put a better sort of spin on that, it's kind of like my average day. When I'm asleep, it feels like the night crew are in. What I mean is the characters in my dreams are the workers. So the subconsciousness has risen above the consciousness. It's that state of being half awake and half asleep. And one by one, these night workers will take their leave from the office, metaphorically, and the workday starts. As the morning progresses, more and more start to show up for work. These workers take their positions, and just before they're about to get to work, something's missing. It's quite obvious. They can't work on an empty stomach, and neither can I. So I cook some breakfast. This, if you can imagine, is when the office starts to come to life. Before getting any work done, I like to clear my head first, cut out the rough thoughts. I feel the best way I do this is by going for a run. Running rearranges the office. It sharpens the mind. It prepares me for the rest of the day. When I'm in this right frame of mind, I feel like I can really get some work done. This, if you can imagine, is when every worker is at their peak. Every single office worker inside your head sitting down at the desk with pretty much everyone on the same page. After a while though, the focus starts to fade. The workers tend to procrastinate, and eventually I crack. Too much stress and I just have to give in to temptation. Music. Music is so important for the office and for me. It's that universal sort of thing. It calms and it soothes. It can change your tone of thought in an instant, but really it helps you get back into the rhythm that you want to get into. After many hours of study, I rest. And what better way to go for a rest than by sitting on the couch and watching television? Everyone is put on the same wavelength. Fair enough, productivity is quite low, but it gives everyone the chance to relax. On that note, sometimes I like to play board games. But unfortunately, there's rarely anyone to play with. And as you can imagine, playing strategy games against yourself never really seems to go too well. After all that, I'm exhausted. At this point, everyone's pretty much calling it quits. But that being said, this is an exam year, and your mind never really rests. Just as day goes to night, the number of workers at the office changes quite drastically. As one shift ends, another begins. And in one form or another, the office always stays open. Yeah, so that's it. To answer your question with a bit of a tangent, that's the typical day at the office, upstairs and out here. And every single worker, these fictionist characters inside my head, all play a vital and equal role in forming my thoughts and, like you said, creating the process of my mind. And it's safe to say I wouldn't be the person I am today, and there's a chance I can become the person I could be tomorrow without every single worker in that office block.